We're jumping into game number 1 in the best of 3 series here at the quarterfinals of Method Mayhem with Battlefield of Eternity being our first map. And yeah, this is a fun one. On the left side, we got the Last Dance with Zelia, Poik, Breeze, Wooby, and Chris. And a couple of returning names also for Reform players, as we've already seen them in the previous match. But here's again Mopsio and Gran Paquete.
Feels good. We're already going to see that ETC banned away, though. Not going to see that for Breeze. Going to have that taken away. It's a hero that's good for Mopsio as well. Maybe we'll see a Diablo ban. Maybe we're going to get to that point. Yrel, though, well, we got a chance to play it last week, and it was absolutely devastating. Will we maybe see that Tassadar ban to try and remove it from Chris, who leaned heavily on it last week?
I mean, we got Yrel actually banned out against Reformed players, but yeah, just generally, she has been so dominant in so many games now. Zelia gets his Lucio banned out that he played the last time on this map with high success. So now we're down to the last ban of the early round before we go into the first few picks. The interesting part is that we have actually not seen any bans really targeting heroes that excel on the Immortal itself. So oftentimes that has been a priority. Not so in this game. There's so many of them around now. Maybe on the last one. Not even here. Garrosh gets banned. Which kind of also shuts down the possibility of us seeing the Garrosh and Zarya option that of course got made popular on this map. But there's our first pick again. Rhaegar.
Rhaegar leaning in here right away, but that leaves Immortal race priority. We will almost certainly see Greymane to deny it from that Bloodlust composition, and the fact he's fantastic in that race potential. Question is, what else we see? Johanna has been left available. I would guess that's what we're seeing first pick. If not, though, maybe looking at the Tassadar, or maybe looking at Vala or Li Ming, or one of those other great Immortal race heroes.
Yep. Anna Li Ming immediately. And I mean, Anna, of course, fantastic on her own. Li Ming, oftentimes an early pick here. We've seen that from so many teams. The one that always comes to mind for me personally is Make and his team, but others have also opted on her being a pick on the first or the second rotation for like ages now, honestly. She's just great for snowballing. She's fantastic in these team fights, capitalizing on setups, getting the calamity value in, and then also in a stalemate, always poking against the opponent. You got an Ana together with that, makes it even better. Yeah, now the counter. Vala comes in, and that's of course an arrow build that we're going to see, and Mopsio is back on his Diablo, as you already suggested, so the same hero that he played in the previous game.
When you're that good, so that you can play the Diablo very effectively here, and with Vala, even with the Hungering Arrow build, the auto-attack damage is still really solid, so it could still fit into a Bloodlust build if they want to. And of course, with Diablo, if Mopsio plays the same build as last time, could play some diabolical momentum here and get massively memed cooldowns on his CC. We'll have to see if that's the way they go, as Deathwing is removed, and Greymane banned out. Greymane Li Ming would be absolutely miserable for Vala to play against, so a very sensible ban.
Yeah, Greymane off, and of course that's not only because Vala is just sitting there as like, yeah, our little Red Riding Hood doesn't want to go up against the big bad wolf, but also, in addition to that, you have a setup where it's just too much immortal damage, of course, on top of it. So, yeah, don't really want to deal with that. Instead, when it comes to the picks now, what are we going to get for our blue team? They have Blaze locked in, and the Bird. Falstad actually being played by Chris. Interesting.
Falstad, great map control here. This isn't an amazing split push map, but there is a lot of time spent in the middle, so that split push could be pretty good value here. And if not, a great way to deal with a Bloodlust composition is to make it go away. So as such, Mighty Gust could be really solid here, and they've left themselves available for Breeze on that Johanna if they want to, which combos very well with the Blaze. And if not, there's a couple other tanks that will still work well enough with this. Double support! I was thinking about this, didn't say it, should have said it. Tyrande to double support the Valor, to hyper support the Valor, and even more crowd control for massive burst compositions with this Diablo.
Yeah, a little bit scared of that though. But again, to get the hell out of my team fight setup with Falstad's Gust before we get the nano booster at Falstad Hinterland Blast.
That would be funny.
With the Judgment Material that is obviously the next pick here now. So Breeze actually going into the Imperious main tank, which we've now seen a few times. But I gotta say, I kind of like what we get. I mean, honestly, Breeze and Imperious, now that I think about it in the main tank position, that sounds terrifying. That sounds honestly terrifying. So I can see that going pretty badly for Reform players because there is a lot of stun right now. I like the double support setup. I think the idea behind it is cool. Also having the Diablo and Tyrande combo there again. They got pressure against the Immortal, which I like. Vala with an arrow build, very likely. It's going to come down to control at the end of the day, I'd say, but I'm a bit terrified to see Poik on Liming with Ana
Yeah.
support, plus all the stuns that we're seeing here.
Percentage
That
damage from
is
Breeze
you
as
tempting
well.
fate.
Yeah, they have so much damage from Falstad. Imperius is one of the highest damage tanks in the game with percentage damage available for him. There's so much setup for this Li Ming. It's really scary. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game here because I think that the red team, that Mobsio's team definitely has potential, especially again through the setups that we have. But it also means that Mobsio at the front line is going to be, I mean, pretty much alone there. So he has to be careful. If he gets picked off too much, and Mobsio in the past had a little bit of an affinity, just like jumping out a bit too aggressively and they're getting punished for it. If that happens, and let's just say his soul stacks get reset, then you are immediately in a situation where he becomes that like weak kitten that can easily be taken down, double support or no support. And if then a stun combo connects with a follow-up on the damage, tank goes down, what else do you have? That Sonya is not going to sustain you at the front.
So we are going to be heading into the game right now, ladies and gentlemen. As we head in, I just want to say we saw it on screen for a second there. Over $1,000 for Cure Rare Diseases. Thank you very much, everyone who has donated. What a fantastic job as we are heading into game number 1 of this of 3 series.
Yeah, and game number 1 on Battlefield of Eternity, obviously. So let's see what we can actually get here. First of all, the interesting part is that even though it is a 2-lane map where we normally don't see too much of it, we have Falstad with the Seasoned Marksman build trying to put a bit more pressure onto Diablo, especially after level 13 talent, when you are able to use Giant Killer in addition to that. So opting for the auto attack damage against this. No surprises on Vala, going for the Monster Hunter setup with an arrow build. In addition to that, we now have the True Shot Aura on level 1 for good old Tyrande, who received a couple of changes in the last patch, and this being one of them. The talent got moved over from level 4.
Yeah, we have the extra value from the True Shot Aura being moved. There was the stun talent got moved as well. But in this case, True Shot Aura plus Bloodlust could be pretty meme heavy. So I do like that idea. It would make up for the lack of the damage they lose with being double support. We'll see if it works out for them. We'll keep an eye on this Valor build as the game goes on, of course. We also see Sigurd going for Electric Charge level 1, not the Totem build that has become a bit more common these days.
Yeah, also, when we're talking about, True Shot or Bloodlust, we come back to our old point with Chris playing Falstad, and just one well-placed Gust and that entire Bloodlust setup is not going to do anything for you. So whenever they pop that, they have to either split quickly, or just make sure that Falstad is not in a position where he can get too much value out of this. It should be interesting now. I want to see in particular how much Falstad in the later stages of the game is really going to contribute to putting pressure on Mobsio, because it comes back to the one thing that I highlighted earlier. Sonya not going to be able to sustain the team if Diablo goes down, even with the double support behind her. So Mobsio needs to be kept alive, and they have the tools for it. But let's see how they're going to play this out. I also want to say there might be a chance, that Rhaegar actually opts for simply Ancestral. That he says, well, we need to keep Diablo alive. They have one tool that could ruin every single Bloodlust setup that we go for. Might see a reason to go into Ancestral. Don't necessarily think that's the case, but there's always the option.
There is a chance. Charge comes in, looking for Poik. Peleus, though, Breeze shutting it down with the anti-heal grenade onto Mopsio. And Mopsio will be focused down and picked off, becoming first blood here. And there's where we start to see the issue of maybe running Ancestral, and its name is Zalia. The fact that anti-heal grenades could come out. However, level 20 might fix that, having double Ancestral's newly reworked talent.
Yeah, level 20 is of course going to be interesting too. But we'll see how exactly they're going to play this out. I mean, for now, the kill doesn't really impact the game that much. Dying in the earlier stages for Diablo is not really the big deal. He doesn't have a lot of soul stacks together. It really becomes more of a problem when he has the stacks all set up for himself and has that high hit point pool. Now, it of course affects Falstad a little bit, because that early kill already adds even more to the season marksman damage. And if that happens a bit too often in the earlier stages, then Chris is going to have a fantastic mid-lane game.
We're seeing the Stormcaller for Rhaegar. It's a Lightning Shield build game coming in here. Now, this could be very good for single target protection, of course, as he's just going to be able to drop it on Mopsio or Sonya and get a lot of mana back in the big team fights that way. Makes a little bit of sense, see if it works out for him, but it gives them a lot less out of combat healing, but that's made up for by Grandpa Keta. Stun onto Vala, Vala squishy, but will escape and lose Chosen will begin to heal that up.
Yeah, is able to get out there, but there's the attack, and Breeze, as I said, he's just terrifying. If he has a hero like this, when he can jump in with a reliable stun, he is going to absolutely murder you, and he does exactly that. He impales Vala, and there's the follow-up from Poik. This is the terrifying setup, and look at it, they're going for it again, stun into stun. The good thing for Arctic is that there was actually no living around, but the only thing that means is he dies a little bit later. There's kill number 3.
Yep, focusing it down, 3 kills to 0, about to hit level 7 here by the side of the last dance. They're snowballing ahead. Poik continues the race here. This is just safer as they hit the halftime show. Moptio desperately trying to get some split soak XP for Reformed players.
And of course, this brings us to Chris with 13 stacks 4 minutes into the game.
Oh yes.
So obviously he goes into Boomerang, still the choice on level 7, no matter what you actually pick. I mean, there's Lightning Rod variation, but outside of that, even with an auto attack build, you will always opt for the talent. Gives you more burst damage and also helps with the wave clear, which then again helps you with your global value for the team. But they take a solid Immortal here on number 1, decent shields, 3 kills to 0. Falstad, the bird, he's all alone up at the top as the rest of the team is pushing bot side, even destroying the turrets before the fight even starts. So Last Dance is just looking at a very, very good initial push where they might even be able to take the fort itself down.
It's a cool idea here, using Falstad as the offlaner here, so he's able to completely soak experience and will outrange Sonya, so he has a much safer lane up there, clearing that out with the Boomerang and the ability to join his team at any time. Breeze, another stun onto Opadopa, huge damage, and finishes the job with the auto attack. Chris is here just in time to not help.
Breeze just terrifying as usual. The second I saw him lock in that Imperius, I was just like, uh-oh, that's gonna hurt. I mean, honestly, it feels a little bit like it's a more agile version of Diablo for him. So he just comes in, they destroy the wall at the bottom of the map on the keep, take that down. They're a level and a half nearly ahead after the first objective. This is just terrifying. 17 stacks for Falstad as well. 5.5 minutes. Wow, this is not looking good. You need something to really save the targets here, because we've seen now time and time again, Breeze initiate, an immediate follow-up through the mage, and then, if needed, even a second stun coming through with Blaze himself.
They're going to steal the camp away here. Breeze built to back up. Here comes the True Shot Aura, and the damage output is very good, but a good stun from Wubby saves the day, as we see Impaler Camp stolen away by Reformed players. But here are level 10s for the last dance, and that's going to prevent any fight from coming out for a while, unless of course they just stun out Opadopa here.
And the bird at the bottom of the map pushed out another wave, got a little bit more stacks towards his level 1, is now halfway done with the quest. It's at 20 stacks, has of course gone straight into his Gust, and we are still 1 level away from level 10 abilities for the Reformed players, and that is a chance that Last Dance uses immediately to push the top side a bit more aggressively. Chris is playing this very safe at the bottom of the map, as he didn't have vision on all the players on the opponent's team. He's now willing to push a little bit farther out, but the wall top side has fallen, and the next objective is about to spawn in another 20 seconds.
Cleanse was used by Rhaegar there, so they're not going to have that available for quite a while. Need to play around that. So we see mercenary camps being picked up, mirrored by both teams. Falstad in the meantime, Chris sneakily grabbing another camp in the bottom lane, increasing his team's lead here, as finally level 10 is available for Reformed players. We are seeing that Bloodlust, we have Starfall try and prevent retreat, and we are seeing Wrath of the Berserker this time.
Yep, now they're going for the aggression, of course, and this is where Falstad really is going to become important. Is that Gust here? Yep, it is, but it might be a little bit too late to save Breeze. He gets body block too, but he's able to lunge out, and that's quite a few ults that have been used on both sides now. But as the teams move back, not a single one has fallen, and honestly, that's good for the Last Dance. They have a double camp at the bottom of the map, so that keep is going to be under pressure very, very soon. Halftime show, more or less an even trade, and the red team has to move outside to defend, which means their own Immortal is going to be exposed. The defense is already there. Chris is going for it. Great setup now for the blue team.
Fallen Shaman is still pushing in the top lane though, so there is a little bit of counter value that's currently not being met, and towers will go down for that. Minions are on the way though, which will slow that down quite a bit here. They're going to move forward, and the race is going to be won with just under a half shield immortal.
4 kills to 0 still. Good shield on the Immortal, as you said, so that should allow them to take another fort since the wall has fallen, so the fort is pretty much standing isolated topside. Sonya still at the bottom of the map, shouldn't really be a problem. Chris can always fly down. There's always a couple of pokes at upside, making a play, and Rhaegar pulls a Houdini, and just disappears from the map. Falstad flies in, goes for the bronze 5 play, and is nearly able to get the kill here with the rest of the team. There we go, Vala down, Tirana follows. Chris with his setup, nicely done, doesn't get punished. The fort is down, 7 kills to 0, 2 levels ahead. All is Gucci for the last man.
I haven't seen that work outside of Storm League in so long. Nicely done by Chris. They push forward. They're going to just wipe out this front wall. Immortal's still got a shield, even good cleanse onto Mopsio. He will tank through this time, but they're not stopping the Immortal. They don't have the damage. Vala's finally back though, but this keep looks like it might fall here.
Yeah, the keep, I mean, the keep is very likely going to fall for sure here.
Yeah.
That was a nice end, by the way. There's the Bloodlust they're trying to chase. Good luck with that, boys. I mean, if they get the damage against Priest, maybe, but that could be turned around. But a good setup against him. Problem is, he's still at his ult. And Priest just walks out of it.
He gets the shield, he walks away, they turn it round, the sleep dart onto Rhaegar, no one in position to set it up. Mopsio, he's still committed for this, there's the gust, Open Doper. Rain Avengers nearly to save the day here as Arctic is gonna dive deep here. Open Doper is slain though, and it's still not looking good. Finally, Anna has fallen, but Chris is untouched here, just destroying everyone, and Poik is healed up by dominance.
Honestly, at this point, all they want is at least get 1 kill. There's the second as Imperius goes down, so nicely done. 2 kills for 3, but oh boy. Keep down and still a level ahead. All jokes aside, though, by the way, the fight around the top was just fantastic. First, the great setup for the first kill. I think it was Vega who fell before they took the fort down, and then Chris sees the opportunity, jumps in, and secures him another kill, which is definitely a play that's going to be emulated by players around Storm League for at least a week or 2, and they're all going to horribly die. But he found the perfect angle there, and it could have led to even more than that 1 kill. I think at the end they even were able to take down 2. So yeah, nicely done by him. Also, just in general, did several Bloodlust comms from so far, and obviously gave them another kill there too. Chris now 32 stacks. He's murdering, honestly. He gives them the map control, and he will put so much pressure now on Diablo with level 13. And with his level 1 stacks, it's going to be great.
Nicely done here as we do see Opadopa cleaning out these minions, keeping the pressure on. Out for good measure, Harsh Moonlight was taken, we saw from Grand Baquetta earlier, really trying to zone away anyone here and keep vision on the map. But in the meantime, Mercenaries being taken, this time it's Breeze stealing bot lane, as once again the Fallen Shamans are mirrored.
16 in any seconds. Again, the problem that you're a talent down when the Immortal is on the map. So the talent advantage goes to the last dance. Chris easily getting out there. Easy, not even close. Afterburner, make it happen. And there's the Gust. Just after the Bloodlust, and that's like just a wah-wah. Nice try, but again, that's the problem that we highlighted as the draft came through. It's why Falstad has been drafted in the first place.
Yeah, Mopsio didn't notice how close he was to Falstad there, likely scouting the map. In this case, though, here they come with a massive wave of force. Bunker having to be dropped, though. Mopsio and Grand Baquetta looking very low. Grand Baquetta will make it over the wall, but Chris is just chasing down Opadopa from the other side. They're trapped away from their base. Sicko getting run down by Breeze. Ana, though, is so far the first and only person to fall. A fight that's actually won by reformed players for the first time. Wobby force back. Spear nearly lands, and they win a fight. In the meantime, though, their keep is dying.
I am actually amazed. Keep is definitely falling in bot side, so that one's down. But I am amazed that not more players of Reform of the red team actually fell. Instead, it's Li Ming that goes down. But Vala had to literally escape through the range of the top fort and was hit multiple times by it. Breeze was looking to follow up with a kill, but he couldn't. But the situation on the map is, of course, horrific right now for Reform players. They don't have a keep left. They have nothing. And even the attack is not gonna do a lot because the Immortal is moving topside. as everybody else is at the bottom of the map defending. So even with nearly a full shield, it's going to take them some time to come towards the top. The best they can hope for here is the fort, which they should get.
They are finally level 16 now. We have Darnashian Archery coming in for Tyrande, another buffed talent here. They're going to try and dive deep here, taking the damage from the fort, but it will be taken out here. And with double supports, Diablo's damage will be healed up very quickly. He is full souls here. They have everyone here, receiving Hatred on Valor. They have as much damage as they can really hope for. They're going to try. Shield is down. Mopsio waiting for his moment over the wall. He can see Chris Sidewall taken out. They're looking for one person here to try and get a pick and snowball, but they can't do it. Too safe is the play from the last dance, and they are forced to back away.
Yep, that's both keeps still on the map for last dance, and we also have them with all the structures eliminated on the red team side. So for the next objective, tough position to be in if you are a Reformed Players fan, because this is one of those setups where just playing for time will win the game eventually. It's a bit early still in the game, so it's not like we are entering Winian territory any minute now, but still, a bit of rough going. Chris, by the way, on 38 stacks now. He's sitting at 17,000 damage. Doesn't really sound like a lot, but when he starts to go those outer attacks in against Diablo, it's definitely gonna hurt that big fella.
You can see how safe, unbelievably safe the Last Dance are playing, because they know that this Diablo Sonya composition will absolutely destroy them with that Tyrande follow-up. So they refused to even move onto the map and just stayed right next to their base until they could see at least 4 members of the side of Reformed Players. Falstad going to fly back because guess what? He lost vision. They know the camp's being taken, but it's not worth the risk. And immediately look at this. Reformed Players, the same thing. They refuse to take the risk where they might get interrupted and forced to fight outside of their base while catapults push in. They play safe. They port after every single thing they take to prevent their base from taking too much damage and prevent themselves from getting caught.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much all about vision, map control in general, which is why the next objective is so terrifying now for Reformed Players. They are an even talent, so forcing a fight, maybe like getting a good stun in initially and follow up on it, might just be what brings them back here, but it will be difficult because, as I said, Last Dance have to just simply stall. The more they stall, the more pressure on the core, the more Reformed Players are likely to be forced back. But of course, if they can, with the help of the Immortal Stun, set something up here, that would be great. Arctic gets stunned, but just a second, Mopsio also gets locked down here. And they are still trying to guard, buying themselves a little bit more time. There's still camps up on the map too, and this is exactly what the Reformed Players are falling back to now.
But immediately as they move back there, Al's going to spot that the Immortal is being taken. 3 catapults in the bottom lane, 1 in top lane, but they will be depushed by the Mercenaries. They just traded quite a bit of damage for that camp that Falstad could rotate up and begin to take. Diablo diving very deep onto Wobby here. He dodges Breeze though, and that's a lot of the actual damage output. And Mopsio still going so deep here, but he doesn't get the overpower. He's forced to back up. Shield comes out with the Earth Shield. They can't finish off Mopsio, and they will all retreat here, but Open being chased down by Wobby and has to back away.
Hoik once again just at the edge of the fight here, looking for an opportunity to follow up on those stuns that we see from Wooby and from Breeze. He's looking for it again. He looks a little bit nervous. He looks nervous. There's a combo. And he goes straight in with a follow-up of Imperius. They're going for Mopsio. And the big boy is about to go down. Chris is a little bit in trouble, but gets a quick cast out. And they're absolutely fine as once again Hoik is coming in. Gets the kill, gets the double, gets the triple. They take 3 down with his health and they go for the quad kill. Taking Mala down and dominating this team fight.
Opa came in, he was looking so much for at least the kill on Falstad to try and prevent the court rate, but he was unable to with the Hungering Arrow hitting the wrong target, the downside of that build. Mopsio is popped like a balloon with no souls as Chris tries to dual grab Paqueta. Darnashian Archery value perhaps? No, too many members here. Grand Paqueta will fall, as will the core, and game number 1 is going over to the Last Dance.
5-man wipe to finish this out, and this is game as the blue team locks in the victory in game number 1.
Those level 20s were 100% picked to end the game as well. Archon Pure Power. We had the dynamic optics for the Ana. They were 100% just trying to race down the core at the end of the game there. They knew it was over. Even Burn Notice for Blaze. It was all about finish this game as fast as possible.
Okay.
Find out.
Infernal Shrines. Draft starting up, everybody, as we're heading into game number 2. Infernal Shrines is the map. first pick, first ban goes over to the Reformed players, meaning that map choice was made by the Last Dance here. We got the lead, of course, in the best of 3 series for them now. And Urel plus Ana get banned instantly. But the question that still remains is what happens with ETC? What happens with Diablo? Are the heroes going to be banned out? Are we going to see a pick quickly again for the Reformed players? Or is Breeze saying, you know what? I'm going to play my Diablo over here, and then we're going to see how that's going to work out for you.
Diana is so much of a sensible ban after that last game. It was so strong. So seeing that taken out, very sensible here. What do we see? Rhaegar take it out. Double supports being removed, not wanting to risk the bloodlust against them. Didn't work for them, but they don't want to take the risk of being run over like that.
All right, let's go. Ban, what are you going to get rid of? Is it one of the tanks? That's honestly the question right now. We had a lot of ETC bans, we had a lot of focus on him whenever he wasn't banned. We've seen Diablo now also played twice already by Mopsio, so there's definitely a frontline focus. But instead, we have both of them still up, which means that in theory, each team could pick one, and Tassadar gets banned instead. First pick for Reform players. Let's go.
See.
There it is.
There
the
it is.
ETC pick right away.
Stealing that away from Breeze, but it's also one of Mopsio's tops as well. Very cool to see that being picked up as the first pick here. But now, what do we see on the counter side? Imperius would still be good. Again, Johanna is available, and Johanna versus ETC is a favorable matchup for Johanna, because Condemn is the easiest interrupt for Moshpit in the game.
I just don't want to see Breeze on Johanna. Give me that Imperius or Diablo. Both of them are okay. We want to... No. I mean, I agree with everything that he said. It's a great hero for the map. Yep. The wave clear alone is a huge plus for her against ETC too. But it just always feels like you want to see that Breeze Diablo. You want to see that one-shot potential. You want to see those plays that put the fear into the hearts of Fan and other NA players at every single BlizzCon when they got the one-shotted by the Diablo, or at least that Imperius. But we have an enormous amount of wave clear from them right away. Leo together with Johanna, it's amazing.
Would it make you happier if it was a falling sword light bomb, Johanna?
I mean, I would go for the memes here too, don't get me wrong. That would be quite a bit of fun. Once you have that 20, then you would just hop around like a bunny on speed. But yeah, I can totally see that from Breeze just going for something like this. No, but the setup that they have is obviously incredibly powerful. You get Leo plus Johanna on the first rotation. That's just insane. Then again, you look over to Reformed players for what they're trying to do with the setup. That is pretty good too. I mean, you're starting things off with ETC. You have a Malfurion root follow-up. And you got Junkrat who can follow up to just displace the stunned target and push it into the team for the easy kill, plus having the outside poke around the objective. So that's a really good start into the draft for them too. A bit of a different lineup, a bit of a different idea behind it, but still incredibly powerful and very much so in the meta.
All right, so with Decade removed, supports-wise, again, we're looking Stukovs, we're looking Anduins once again, so honestly, the light bomb is viable. Oh yeah, Lucio was banned out last game, but Zalia is absolutely mental on this hero, so yep, very sensible pickup for them. That is very much a preference, because it's really good when Zalia plays it, and Kael'thas comes in again.
I mean, the thing is that if you give Azalea an energy drink, he's pretty much like Hamey or whatever the character was called from Over the Edge. And that's the character that resembles Lucio the most. So everything fits together there neatly. Give the guy just before he plays Lucio just one energy drink and he's going to zip around the map. Everything is going to play out in slow motion for him. And he's going to capitalize on that. That's exactly what's going to happen here. People that actually watched that movie at some point will appreciate that reference, or think I'm weird, one of the two. Kael'thas together with that, and that's obviously the AoE damage. We got Malthael and Vala with the last pick. Chris, this is Jimmy.
Yep. Very sensible. Just a safe draft from the last dance. Everything fits. They've got great Shrine Race. They've got fantastic damage. Just a solid draft here. I'm curious to see if Arcta can make this Malthael work here. It's got some very heavy hit point numbers to burn through with that percentage damage. And Vala, with solo support, ETC is going to have to do quite a bit of work, but there isn't a massive amount of dive from the last dance, so maybe Sigurd can play safe here.
Honestly, the Malthael doesn't really knock my socks off here as a pick. Not really some... I mean, again, for the objective maybe, but outside of that, do you really get a lot out of Last Riots? Is that a Tormented Soul setup without an Ana behind it, an Ana boosted? Rather not. So
It
if you
shouldn't
go
be
last rights, I don't know.
It shouldn't be Tormented Souls just for the fact that Lucio's in the game. The second a
Exactly.
sound barrier is dropped, that's shut down, so it should be a last rights here.
Which
Again,
is
it
also
doesn't knock
true
my socks.
for last rights, by the way.
Yes, that's fair. But like you said, it doesn't knock my socks off,
No.
but it has the potential to blow up Kael'thas if he
Does
plays
it,
well
though?
enough. It's about one of their better options for such a job.
Yeah, like I'm not really a fan of the pick. And again, we've seen some setups in the past where you go for Tormented Souls. If you have an Ana in the setup and your opponent doesn't have a lot of stuns, then it can work. Here, I don't think so. Last rights against the setup, Mana Addict, shields coming out, all that stuff. I feel it's going to be really tricky for him to get any value out of this, but if he can make it work, hey, it's going to be awesome. Generally speaking, though, I think what we are having in terms of heroes for Last Dance is way better. And simply the first two picks alone were incredible. They were so good, and it just followed from there. But I think they have an absolutely fantastic setup right now that is going to be very, very difficult to beat for the red team.
Ladies and gentlemen, game number 2, Infernal Shrines. Can Reformed players bring it back to a 1-1? Or are the Last Dance going to continue their path towards the final? We are heading into game, ladies and gentlemen. And once again, Reformed players going to have to try and make their comeback here. And we have these level 1 talents all ready to show to you. Exterminator sneaking in once again.
Yeah, Exterminator, a little bit nerfed in the last patch for good reasons. Sneaks in. Together with that, we also have seen that the spray game between those boys is absolutely on point still. So always happy to see this, especially on the side of the red team here. But yeah, let's kick this one off and see who's going to take lead. I mean, first of all, Vala with the multi-shot build. In this case, we already have the block party. Kael'thas. Yeah, good joke. It's not going to be convection, but yeah, thanks for playing. So Mana Addict has been locked in, and off we go with Austin's renewal also committed to by Leo.
Arctic just got popped half his health after eating the explosion of a living bomb applied to a minion. Nice cheeky play. Xaylia doing what he does best, annoying the rotation. But look at the map awareness, dude. We could see the Reformed players. They knew exactly where he was going to be. But the second he sees them trying to react to him, Xaylia plays safe, rotates out, and is able to keep himself out of danger. This is literally just the next level mind games between these two teams.
Yeah, and it will be... Oh, actually, Chris could be in trouble. And he goes down. This is his setup that we talked about during the draft. If you have that ETC Malfurion to lock someone down, then Junkrat can do so much by simply placing the mine down, which is pretty much what he just did there. So really nice setup by them, and yeah, that worked wonders. So good job. The early kill goes to Reformed players as they lock in the first blood.
Very nicely done indeed, as both teams begin to race down their Impaler cams. Kazuras will be pushing in the middle lane, and cleaned up pretty quickly as well. It's Vala and Reyna and Kael'thas. Everything's just going to be taken out super quick. A gank onto the top lane, though, is Fear the Reaper going to be able to save the Malthael here. Arctic, he's on the run, speed boost turrets, and Lucio picks up the kill.
Yeah, he found himself literally between a rock and a hard place here. Just looking on one side on the wall, on the other side there's 3 heroes, and he's like, team! Tries to run down to the bottom. No chance there. And yeah, it just goes down.
Nicely done. Here comes the Impalers into bottom lane, though, reacting to the death of Malthael by knowing where everyone was and taking the advantage moving onto the map. Opadopa, he's going to perish. He will not perish. Nice route. Nicely done. Opadopa on the run. Can he get out? Good boot by Xaylia. That's the shutdown.
Look close, though. For a second, I really thought he would be able to get away here.
Same.
But yeah, gets shut down, and that's 2 kills against 1. So they might have lost the first one in this game, but they followed very quickly with 2 additional kills. So yeah, nicely played thus far.
Alright, so we have level 4s available for both teams. Punishment for Vala, classic multi-shot. And we have the, of course, Die Alone for the Malthael. Really trying to control that solo lane here. Try and out-bully Leoric. And it's going to give him some good backline damage potentially. He's able to find anyone isolated. It's a good idea. Kael'thas, nothing out of the ordinary here. Netherwind, he's already up to 7 stacks. Not bad.
Yeah, also, now that we have the first objective up, it's of course time to see if both teams are willing to commit to the first objective, or if we're instead going to see a bit of a rotation around the map instead. Malthus down at the bottom of the map, they don't want to lose too much experience here. They definitely know that that wouldn't go really their way in the long run, but that already leads to a massive lead. The Ice Giant, Ruby himself, with 23 stacks towards the objective for his team. And there's just no way anymore for the red team to fight back here. Or is there? They're still trying.
Yeah, they're going to try and force them off the point. Trying to contest it. Chattering Teeth have been placed to zone away. And with level 7 available now, there was a chance. Zico has stayed way too long here. Going to be focused down, but he will roll away. Not enough follow-up to finish the job. And here we go. Finally, these level 7 talents being picked up. We see that Massacre here. Going for a nice little bit of AoE dive. Echo Pedal for the ETC. And here is the Sticky Wicket. This is what's going to allow Junkrat to maybe be a sort of pseudo-engager if he can catch anyone with these traps.
There's a bait over the wall now, as they're trying to get at least the wall itself destroyed. Kel'Thas and Leo are missing from this fight, since they're both trying to push the lanes out and put more pressure onto Malthael himself. But the wall falls, and they are already ahead here, so solid objective. Not much trouble there. They are able to get some damage towards the wall at the bottom of the map. Leo is still pushing the middle. Generally speaking, really good first objective for Last Dance. They got damage on every single wall, were able to destroy the one at the top. Kel'Thas down here still alive, baiting a little bit for just a second now too, but Arctic didn't really fall for anything. He knew the rotation was coming.
Mercenaries being picked up. Zalius sees it, and that's a Sicko. We're going to be forced to back up once again. Really eating a lot of pressure here. Junkrat sends out a concussion mine to zone away, but they're forced off their camp here. Successful invade coming out from the Last Dance.
And they're also, of course... Oh, that could be a kill, Zalia! There it is! The hit! RNGesus is with the red team, apparently. Gets the last hit in with the arrow, and Zelia is down. Nicely done. I like it. Fighting back here, showing some teeth.
Hungry Arrow had the choice there between hitting that mercenary camp and chasing down Zalia, and it decided, come on guys, let's go ruin this guy's life. As we see the root coming in onto Raider. Mopsio trying to hold face melt. He holds. Going to be forced to back away though. This camp looks like it might be stolen. Oh no, rest of the team backs up. Wooby will be forced off.
Yeah, they go for Wooby, and that's a kill. Nice! Look at that! All of a sudden they're smelling blood in the water and they're going straight in. 2 kills against 3, the earlier level 10. They steal the camp away. Heroics get locked in. Entomb got the Hyperion together with that. And off we go. I like that. Honestly, it's really good to see that the Reform players are putting a couple of numbers on the board here. And we have Pyroblast!
Yes!
Okay.
I love it. I love it. What's the counter? There isn't any. No one has Ice Block. No one has any kind of sustain. Big shields, non-existent. There's no counterplay to this Pyroblast.
Alright, let's see if they can get at least a couple of kills in. I mean, oftentimes what you see is that the target is pretty much dead already before the Pyroblast even hits, and that big self-stun is of course a bit of a problem, so you need to be super careful that Opa Dopa doesn't capitalize on that, or you're going to be in trouble quickly. So a little bit of a question mark there, but let's see what he can actually do with that. For now, next objective should be announced soon, TM, and we have both teams pretty much on even experience right now.
Be careful, the Chattering Teeth will hit Johanna, but she's one of the people, of course, who can sustain, and Breeze plays it safe enough. Mana Addict is complete here, so Kel'Thas going to be a lot safer from these hard engages. Malthael was able to get a little bit of split push. So far, everyone playing a little bit safe, just grabbing everything else on the map they can before the objective spawns.
Yeah, I'm talking about the objective spawn. Another 10 seconds, and we're off to the races, which means that you want to go for your camp. Top right, top left are now taken, or about to be. So we have the normal top pressure between the two camps, and again the quicker rotation onto the objective from the Last Dance, so they are in once more in a position where they can take the early advantage on the points. And I mean, they're sitting at 15 already before the fight even starts, so Reform players better start this with a snappy kill.
Pull him back, playing safe. Mopsio eats a little bit of damage. Zalia continuing to just put pressure on. Here comes the Hyperion. This could be the engage. Marshman catches no one. Nicely done there. And Mopsio's gonna pop in this Entomb here. Oh, he's actually going to get away. Twilight Dream comes out last. Right, see you later, Johanna. Sound Barrier a split second too late, and somehow Reformed players come out ahead.
Yeah, that was more than a bit unlucky. 0 Pyroblast value in that one. Mobster just simply walks away after nobody helps Kalthus to secure the kill. The Pyroblast actually connects really nicely after the Entomb locks Mobster in, and then nobody secures the kill. And at the same time, you have the attempt to save Johanna with the Sound Barrier on Lucio, but that was mistimed, so the last rights goes through. Definitely a bit of miscommunication now happening from Last Dance. That could have had a very different outcome. But instead, we're now seeing Reformed players starting to make their way through the bottom of the map in an attempt to take the fort down and maybe add another kill to the board.
Pressure is applied. Here comes Leoric Entomb onto Sigurd. Are you kidding me? Can Raider do the damage? Johanna in the right position. And they take the enemy's Punisher and turn it into a kill. Leoric Wobby just running it down. Perfectly done.
Yeah, that was pretty much what just saved them there again. I mean, that's exactly the kind of plays that they need in this situation, right? If they don't get a counter kill and don't apply any pressure, they just see the opponent walk over them and take the fort there. So that was fantastic. Good lockdown, the scene opportunity, Vala a little bit too far out, squishy hero, bam, dead. And that forces Reformed players to retreat immediately. So now we're back to, I mean, more or less an even situation on the map. It's pretty much mirrored. I mean, you look at the damage at the top fort and the bottom fort.
Oh my god.
Similar. There's the interrupt on the Pyroblast. Boig is on the run.
Oh.
Double shields coming out. The Mana Addict and the Sound Barrier. And once again, Pyroblast. Do all that play.
Oh my god, he lives. Poig, that was so ambitious. He's like, well, gonna die. Might as well throw every ability at Grand Paqueta. Unable to finish the job, though, with, like you said, that Sound Barrier and Mana Addict. He's able to tank his way through. He will be able to retreat out, and everyone is going to be heading into the next objective alive. However, Twilight Dream and Riptide were burned 55 seconds and 40 seconds, respectively, left on those cooldowns.
It's a bit of an interesting setup right now. We have again down to the bottom of the map the attack coming in through, but I really wonder if Poik is totally serious about that Pyroblast. If he is memeing or if he just misclicked. We had a couple of misclick in Meta Madness where it looked for just a moment and it's like, yeah, is that a meme pattern or anything else? And then later on the player confirmed, yeah, kind of misclicked that one. But he got good value out of the first one, just nobody followed up on it, so in the end it didn't really do anything. And that's just interrupt potential that we have, and I'm not quite sure if he is really going to get enough out of it. If anything, he probably has to go for one of the squishies. If he is able to lock Vala down, but she has Gloom now as well, then you have, of course, still Junkrat on the other side, so there might be a few chances later on, but let's see what he can do with that.
I do like it here. Obviously, Phoenix is just a much safer choice, but there is so little counterplay that isn't interrupting, which can put you at risk of being caught by Johanna or Leoric. So I do like the Pyroblast here. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a purposeful pickup. He just has to stay a little bit further away so he doesn't get stunned out like we've been seeing, like you said.
Yeah, 16 versus 16 now, which gives us the Pain and Red. We have also Ignite on top of this too. And, well, here we go. Shrine activating at the top in another 30 seconds. Rotation on the bottom in the attempt to take the fort down, which is not quite successful. Careful, Vala, you already died earlier. It's literally 20 seconds until the shrine spawns. This is not the moment where you want to die.
Gonna back away, keeps it safe. Still gonna see some pressure onto that bot lane, has to be careful. So, Fallen Shaman. Going to be pushing in the pushing in the top lane. However, everyone's already on their way up, so this might be cleared. And Xaylia continuing what he does best and being incredibly annoying on the rotation.
Yeah, still, Junkrat isn't here yet. They're taking the fight more or less, and that's a kill. Vala is down. The perfect start into that team fight again. There's another setup as they're trying to make another play for Malthael. They take him down. That's 2 eliminated before Junkrat even joins the fun. So, one more objective, easy for the Last Dance. Really well played here, seen opportunity, they take it, and the Reformed player is just not disciplined enough in situations like that.
Pyroblast value was denied again during that fight, not because of stuns this time, but because the target died before he was even able to finish the channel here. He then tried to do it again onto ETC, who stepped out of range.
So normal Pyroblast situation.
Yes. Exactly. We're seeing a massive push coming in here, making the most of their man advantage. The Oryx going to be bringing the objective with them, and this keep will almost certainly fall unless Mopsio can get a massive stun. Won't be able to do that if he's dead, though, but he will survive this time.
Yeah, easily. What do you mean this time? This is the second time that Pyroblast hits him and it doesn't do anything. He was already on the overheal. So Poig is just sitting there and is like, what a shit talent. Oh, what a great entomb though. That's a great talent. The mosh pit attempt here as ETC is looking for a party. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't really find one. Gets interrupted there as well. 5 kills to 4, but still with the big Immortal still on. Punisher on 70%. They go for the keep. Malthael is down, and so is the keep turned into rubble.
Zikherd pulls that Punisher all the way to mid-keep, and it decides it's not interested and just walks back to top lane again. Junkrat stunned out, but Opadopa will be able to back away this time. But yeah, they got Leoric low in that fight, but they were unable to finish the job with the Punisher stun, setting up Arctic for death here. And that's going to be the first keep of the game, going over to the last dance. And they're going to make their way out to try and clear some more experience. Mercenary camps will be available as well. They're just continuing to extend their lead.
Yeah, and that could even mean Storm Talons, of course, towards the late game. 31,000 damage for Vara, 24,000 for Kalthas. Now we got that. They take the Fountain down in the middle. The vision granted to the Khazra, of course. Even pushed in by Junkrat's mine, but still able to take the Fountain down. That's half the battle. Kalthas hasn't died yet, neither did Malfurion nor ETC, so those three the only heroes in this game that have not fallen to this point. And half a level to 20. Yeah, those Storm Talons are gonna be more than just a little bit rough for Reformed players and will take map control for quite some time through the last dance. So yeah, this could be the 2-0. I mean, we've been talking about it. If they win here, they move on to the semi-final.
Yeah, one step closer to repeating their performance of getting to the finals last time, where they will have a attempt to finally get a first place. Wobby continuing to put pressure on the map. Level 20 about to be hit as he grabs more XP. Can they use that level 20? Here comes the self-cleanse coming in from Arctic, but he will live. Pyro does... Yep, nothing. You guessed it right.
Such an amazing talent.
Well, all he's got to do is wait another 90 seconds for it to be back, and he can try to do nothing again. As we see Mopsio booped back, here comes Malthael. Arctic looking for his chance. This fort going to be finished off by Khazra's by the looks of it. Nope, Khazra's died. Fort lives.
Yeah, and that fort should still be... Yeah, there we go.
Yep.
I was just about to say. Now that we have the level 20 and also the flamethrower, that thing should be down. So in comes Poig. So I was like, yeah, I might not get any Pyroblast value, but I'm still, I know how to land those flame strikes. So let's go, baby, and take that one down. That's another set of catapults is going to push eventually. 20 versus 20 now as both teams have their Storm Talons. That gives us, of course, for Vala the Farflight Quiver, together with Manticore on level 16. This is also fantastic for our auto attack setup. It's going to put some more pressure onto Johanna and Leo in particular, always assuming that she isn't blinded. And in addition to that, we have No One Can Stop Death, plus the Astral Communion. I mean, it's time to shine. This is really the moment when you have to fight back. If the Reformed players don't win this particular Punisher, then it would probably spell a lot of doom and gloom here for their chances to win this one.
Yeah. They have Bolt of the Storm and Astral Communion. They have a from nowhere to 100% engagement. They just have to be able to execute it. They have to be able to get these hard engages and make the plays. But now, though, they just grab... No, they give up on the Mercenary. It looks like they are going to try and contest the objective and take that fight instead.
Yeah, they got to. They got to contest the objective or it's going to be lights out for them. They're trying. There's the Buried Alive, and he gets buried immediately. No One Can Stop Death, though, so Malthael is going to be back. He's returned. There's another Pyroblast. This time they're going to try and chase him down, but Mopsio, he has the bolt, he jumps out, gets healed immediately, and they are back to the races.
They still have Astral Communion, but they no longer have Bolt of the Storm for the ETC. Grand Paqueta eats the Flame Strike here with Ignite. Mopsio wrapping around, but Chris sees it coming, sees everything. Another Flame Strike with Ignite as Arctic dives in for round 2, eats so much damage. Junkrat trying to zone away, 25 to 23. This is actually quite close between the two teams. Flame Strike again! Not the sidestep. Opadopa will perish this time, and they're forced to back up.
That moment when you know you're dead. Oh, the party in the middle of nowhere. The zoning mushed by Mopsio. There's the last fight to at least kill Leo, but that's going to be the end of that fight. Sigurd is about to go down. Vala eliminated. That's a triple kill. They're going for Malthael again. Well, maybe no one can stop death, but they're definitely trying. Second time that he dies, Kel'Thas is securing the last Arcane Punisher, but it seems like this is going to be an insta-push for the core. GG already called by Grand Paquete. Nicely done by the Last Dance. 11 kills to 5.
I respect what Mopsio was trying there, believing that if the rest of the team was chasing him like he thought, he could maybe get the multi-man mosh pit and give them that one last chance. Unfortunately, the decision from the Last Dance wasn't to chase, it was to finish the objective, and as such, there was no one home for the dance party. Everyone is still in quarantine as we see the core taken down, and that is 2-0 for the Last Dance. They will move on to the semi-finals.
Good job. Nicely done. Well played here. And that is another semi-final participation, of course, now for Last Dance. So, yeah, nicely done by them.